Julie Shepard. I am a business owner in the Garland district. I own a Zippers, which is a women's consignment clothing store, and I also am an insurance broker, and I have an office right behind the milk bottle called Integrity Insurance Solutions. So a couple years ago, we had a couple artists who needed some space to practice for a mural that they were planning on painting, and they used one of our walls here in the alley. And as we talked, we started talking about how cool it would be to have an art alley where just a variety of artists could come and paint. And along with that, about the same time that this was going on, the Garland district's alleys got hit by a lot of graffiti. And at one point there was over 35 different tags throughout the alleys from Monroe to Howard. And so as we thought about it, we thought, you know, what a great way to create art and hopefully cut down on the tagging, and hopefully some of the taggers would see the art and appreciate it and maybe want to reach out and actually create more art rather than just tagging up our properties. And so that was kind of how the art alley started, and little by little artists started reaching out to myself and to some of the business owners and asked if they could paint in the alley. And so thus, little by little, the Garland Art Alley started to happen. As that was all going on, I kind of had this dream in the back of my mind that it would be really cool to have several artists all at once coming together with different talents, different ages, just different styles, and all painting together and creating a collaboration in the alley. And so for about 2 years I've been thinking about it, and finally it just kind of came to fruition. At first I thought, well, I would have 5 or 6 artists and that would be great. But as the word got out, there were just so many generous artists that came forward and said, I want to be a part of this, I think it's really cool. And it just grew, and before I knew it, I had 19 artists that were wanting to paint in the alley. So that was awesome. So we picked a day, and I kind of met with the artists in advance. We walked through the alley, we talked about the different spaces, and then I let them pretty much choose which space they would like. Some of the artists chose to partner up and paint together and do collaborations, and some of them just did their own walls. And it's just been a really positive effect in our neighborhood. You see more people walking through with their dogs, or they're driving through. They'll stop and visit with the artists as they're finishing up their paintings, and it's been a great positive experience. What I'm also finding is the people that are coming through the alley, they're also stopping in and they're having lunch at our businesses, or they're stopping into our shops. And that was one of my goals, is to increase foot traffic, bring more awareness to Garland, but have a great space, a great outdoor public space that people could come and just feel comfortable and enjoy the art. So that's kind of what we started with. So 2 years ago, our alley wasn't so pretty. The alleyway itself was very rutty and full of a lot of deep dips. And I talked to the city about possibly getting our alley paved. This past couple years, the city's been working more on repaving some of the alleys where the garbage trucks go through. And so I reached out to them and had asked. I wasn't sure if it would happen, but I just crossed my fingers. And one day I was driving up Monroe and I saw the alley blocked off. And it was just like my heart started to flutter because they were actually paving the alley. And that has helped a lot too, because people ride their bikes through here. I was always kind of worried about having the event and people walking back here, you know, with it being kind of a hazard for, you know, twisting an ankle or whatever. So I really thank the city of Spokane and the city streets department for paving the alley and making it a safer place for our visitors. I have really enjoyed meeting all of the different people. There's so many different personalities, and I'm just amazed at how incredibly talented all of the artists are that have reached out and wanted to be part of this project. They're generous, they're kind. I think sometimes some of them with the street art kind of get a bad rap sometimes, and they just have been the most amazing people to work with. And I think that's what I've enjoyed more than anything, is just really getting to know all of these different artists on a personal level, and just seeing the type of work they do, and their ethics, and just they're just amazing. And you have, you know, young from, you know, in their early 20s, and then we had some artists that were in their 60s, and to watch them work together was really cool. One of the artists told me that it really made a difference in his life, just being able to spend time with them, and how connected he felt with the other artists, and what an impact it made on his thoughts about his future and art. And I think it's impacted several of them that way. And you know, I get comments, they reach out to me and let me know how much fun they've had. And so I think it's been a win-win situation for everybody. It's a win-win for the artists, for our public, our neighbors, our businesses, and I can see that it's going to just continue to grow. My goal is to kind of get this alley all finished, and hopefully we can move down and continue for the next 3 blocks, so that we can have an art alley from Monroe all the way to Howard. And I just, to me, I think it would just be incredible to have in the Garland district, and an asset to the city of Spokane.
My name is Karen Stratton, and I am the City Council person for the 3rd District in Spokane, and that is Northwest Spokane, including the Garland District. We've seen more and more over the last 3 or 4 years what public art has done for the community, and especially the neighborhoods. If you go into any neighborhood right now that has murals, that has any sculptures, any kind of art, it makes it interesting. It makes people want to come out, gather around it, talk. I think it brings people together. I think it gives people pride in where they live and what their neighborhood's about. And every time there's a project, especially with the murals, it's a wonderful thing because so many people, diverse backgrounds, come out to participate in painting those walls or painting those bridges or the sides of embankments along Monroe and Post. So it's something that the public art that is happening in our neighborhoods is something that is really reinvigorating and revitalizing these areas. People that are coming up to walk around, you walk around, you want to go through the art alley is what I call it, or where the murals are, then you want to shop, and then you want to spend money, and then you want to have lunch, of course. You might want to stay if there's an event in Garland happening in the evening. So it really brings in that economic development piece that I don't think people realize. It's an interesting draw for people. It's a hook to get people to come to a business corridor in a neighborhood and explore and meet people. And I think that's really the best benefit that this art has done, especially for the Garland District.
contributions for the art alley, we could certainly use it. My goal was to be able to pay all of the artists some money for their time and for all of their supplies. And I had hoped that I would make a little bit more than I did, but I also want to create a fund so that in the future, if artists want to come and paint, they can apply for grants to be able to help with supplies, because painting is expensive. And so if we can build a fund for them, that would be great. If you would like to contribute to the Garland Art Alley, you can email me at garlanddistrict@gmail.com. And there's also a donate button on our website at garlanddistrict.com.